Hi, my name's Gerald. This is the first in a series of videos I'm going to be doing on a bike for dirt drags with a 13B rotary. This is the engine here that I'm going to be using. I have different bike parts laying around that different front ends and whatnot that I'll be using for the rest of it. This is the little engine here that I'm going to be using. It came out of an 86 FC. I don't know what year the engine is. Who knows? I don't even know if there's any sure ways of telling or not. I bought a Dizzy for it so that I don't have to run any of the electronic components. It's going to be a complete standalone. I don't want to have it depending on anything that's actually electronic too much. The Dizzy I bought from Kansas City. He's one of our RX-7 members. I'm sure a lot of you know him. It came really nice and clean and shined up, and yeah, he did a great job on it. It was all very nice shape when I got it. I wouldn't have a problem buying more from him. Anyone that's thinking about it, I wouldn't worry about anything that I bought from him. All I wanted to do was just put something on top, just to keep the dust and whatnot out, you know, the mung and whatever is created. The inside was also very clean. He did a beautiful job on it. The alternator is just a stock alternator. I don't even know how many amps that thing is supposed to put out. It'll be ample for what I need because I don't even have a light. All it has to do is make enough to start itself the next time. That's all I'm depending on it for. I shinied it up a little bit too. Cleaned it up. Here, if anybody can tell me what these numbers here mean, they probably mean nothing. I'm sure that's what everyone's going to tell me, but whatever. If anybody knows anything about them, I'd really appreciate if you drop me a line there and let me know. I don't believe the guys that had this engine ever had it running in the car that I bought. The oil pan was full of oil and gas, and you can still smell it actually when you go into the exhaust and whatever. It still smells a little gassy. Compression's very good in it. I oiled it up and that before I even turned it over, and I don't know what the compression is. I just know that they're all the same and they're good and firm. There's nothing much leaking by, and I think it'll be good. There's the air box that I've built. I don't know. I guess some of you that have been following my other thread will know about it, and the ones that don't, it's just kind of an experiment for me. I dreamed it up, and I want to see what's going on in there, so I put plexiglass on the ends of a steel box. I mounted the 500 Holly on top. This is a new carburetor. I've had it for a long time, quite a few years, but it's never had fuel through it. I did rebuild it. Of course, the gaskets were shrunk up. They looked like little prunes, but I just put a kit in it just because it needed it. I really like them actually. This one, there are two different kinds of 500s. This one's got a manual choke and everything on it. You can change the power valves out in it. Of course, you can change the jets out. I've got half a coffee cup full of jets that I can play with. The power valves in these, you can actually take them out and plug the hole off, and you go up somewhere 4 to 6 jet sizes, and you know, lean it down a little bit with the air screws, and and you'll find that you've got a pretty responsive carburetor. I know there are those that don't like them and think they should be in a landfill somewhere, but each to his own. I would like to build one with 4 little short velocity stacks and 4 separate carburetors. I think it would be fun. As far as the wiring that comes out of the Dizzy, I had quite a time trying to find something that would match up between my 2nd gen coils and my 1st gen Dizzy. So I just I took everything apart. I went into Saskatoon to a place, I think it's B&E Electronics on Faithful Avenue. A beautiful little place there, really good guys. They've got just about every kind of a connector and plug you can think of. No fan. I'm running radiator. The bike that I bought for the frame and whatnot was a water cool, so I'll be using the radiator off of it. It's already got its mounting brackets. Of course, it's a little small for this engine, but the amount of time it's going to be running, I don't think there will be a problem, and if there is, I'll deal with it. That's least of my worries. As far as the oil cooler goes, I don't know. I'm open. I'm open to suggestions on that. If guys think that I should be running it, I'll put it on and string it out in front. And I don't know. I suppose it's important in these engines to keep the oil down as cool as you can possibly keep it. But yeah, if anybody's got any comments on it, please feel free to let me know. Whatever you think. I'm not interested in people's dreams or whatever, but I am interested in anyone that has any knowledge about them. Please feel free to fill me in. Getting back to the Dizzy here for a minute. I will be doing a video when I'm assembling this on how to wire a 1st gen Dizzy up to a set of 2nd gen coils without butchering half the wires off them or whatnot. I really dislike that when people start chopping wires. I think it's a very bad practice. I'm going to try to do it. I did a lot of looking in different threads and whatnot and reading, and there was a lot of information, but really not plain, and for someone that doesn't understand them or is still learning, it was really hard to follow. I'll certainly never forget how to do it. It took me it took me 3 weeks actually to get everything firing. I've never had this running. I know it will, and I think I'm probably gonna wait until I get it in my frame and get some headers on it, and then I'll probably fire it up. I'm gonna run it straight, just a straight header, probably 3 feet long. That'll be about where the 2 pipes join to one is where I'll be going to. I'll put a short extension behind that. Nice gap in the Dizzy there. I really don't know how much it is, and I'm not even going to check. This is the header here. It's ugly and it weighs a ton, but it's probably made out of really good stuff, and it's probably what I'm going to start with. It'll almost, I think, come down right along beside the bike frame, so I'll cover it up to keep my legs from frying, I guess, and I might use this. If not, I got a buddy in town that's got a really nice pipe machine that he can pretty much twist me up anything I need. These port actuators, I'm going to take Trochoid's advice and try to operate them off the exhaust pressure. I don't know if I'll have enough, being as I'm not running mufflers or anything on it. If not, I'll probably just mount a tiny baby little compressor underneath and control it with throttle or something, and That'll be the way it works. I'll have it running and just a switch on the throttle to let the air through. It'll be a lot faster that way. I don't know what's with this water pump here. There's certainly nothing wrong with it, but right in here, it's got one ear. I did do some reading that it's probably maybe a newer model or whatever that's been put on here. I really don't think those guys ever did get this running. It has been ran, obviously, but there was a lot of money spent on this engine. I know that. It was a crate engine from Japan. That I do know. Exactly how long ago I don't know, but I know there's not very many miles on it. I would guess maybe 15 or 20,000 at the most.